Florida teen Don't Say Gay graduation speech speaks at Education Department. Queer News Tonight previously reported on Zander Moricz of Pineview School in Osprey, Florida. A president of his class, he was expected to make a speech at his high school graduation. The school told him he could not reference his being gay, so instead he spoke about his curly hair. Recently, he got to deliver his original speech in front of the U.S. Department of Education. On Friday, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona tweeted, quote, Zander Moricz wasn't allowed to deliver the original valedictorian speech he wrote for his Florida high school graduation because it included references to his LGBTQI plus activism. So I invited him to deliver it at the U.S. Department of Education. When students speak, we must listen.
In my positions, I am asked, what can be done to help the children of Florida? The answer? Listen. Listen to the students and respect what they say enough to act on it. Respect our warnings enough to mobilize around them.
Who loves his curly hair?
He's fabulous. Adorbs, for sure. But boy, that's the thing. Listen to the students and protect what they say enough to act on it. Those are words to live by. Listen to the students. The future, seriously.
Exactly.
I've had the honor to meet him, and he is such an inspiration. But my big question is, what happened to Tinker v. Des Moines when we have our right to free speech in our schools? What happened to that ruling when this school said that you couldn't talk about being gay?
Well, see, essentially, schools are going on the preemptive defense that we don't want parents, we don't want radical parents to sue us. So we're trying to represent in every possible way the following of the Don't Say Gay intent of the laws. It doesn't apply. It did not apply to Pineview School. That was an individual decision of the principal of Pineview School, which, by the way, I remind everybody, is shocking to me because in Sarasota County, it's a public school, but it is a magnet, high academic magnet school. USA Today rates the top 1,000 high schools in America, and over the last 20 years, Pineview has regularly been pulled out of USA Today's top 1,000 schools as being so good we can't rate it. It's one of the 3 or 4 best public high schools in America, which of course, what does that mean? It means very wealthy public school students and very intellectual, elite, progressive blue students. And Pineview does this. That was a decision by the principal. He violates free speech in anticipation that he feels like he needs to. Ridiculous, but that's why he did it. We'll give you a little heads up if you're interested. You've had the pleasure of meeting him. I have not. He will be here in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. And he is participating in a panel with the Florida LGBTQ Democratic Caucus. And we're going to get to talk to him, so you'll get to see it next week. I want to take an opportunity. We have a couple of slides in terms of words that he said. I just think they're powerful. On Don't Say Gay, Zander said, the answer is to listen. Listen to the students and respect what they say enough to act on it, respect our warnings enough to mobilize around them, and respect our, to please respect enough to vote upon our warnings. He goes on to say in Washington, I am the first openly gay class president in my school's history, and repeats the phrase that he said in his speech, the censorship seems to show that they want me to be the last. Powerful.
So
Very
powerful.
Yeah, very well spoken.
Powerful, powerful.
I just think it's sad that we're at a place where this has to even be discussed. And you know, what lesson are we teaching about sharing your voice and sharing your true identity? You know, the mental health issues that kids face, and this young man seems to be so positive and well-spoken, and educated, and has a great future in front of him. And what kind of, you know, mental health, you know, are we putting upon these kids to be like, please don't be yourself? I mean, it's
terrible
vile.
message.
It's vile.
You know, and to that point, CJ, I want to ask you. You have leadership in PRISM Florida. It's a youth student-led 501c3. The organization's voice came out so clearly in 2022 in response to what Governor DeSantis and initially Disney's lack of support. PRISM has really been at the forefront. Now it's all settled and done. Don't Say Gay has been implemented. We're seeing the chill of Don't Say Gay, because remember, the law says it's only K through 3rd grade. But we are watching Tallahassee, we're watching Leon County, we're watching all of the trickle chill that we knew was coming because of the vagueness in the laws. People of your age, you've just graduated from high school. Yes. Are y'all still front and center that you have hope that something can be done? Are you in partial surrender? Have you quit? And, you know, what's going on?
We're not going to back down. Yes, we have been attacked, but no, we're not going to back down. We're going to let our voices be heard. While the law is going to go into effect already for this next school year, I think we're still going to fight. And we're still going to make sure our voices are heard.
I love that.
Especially as we now have the right to vote, and this is a midterm year.
Yes.
So I thought about that. You get to vote this year.
I do get to vote.
Now we need about 140,000 more of you, and we're golden. We're golden.
They're out there.
What I think is going to happen, to the point that you were asking of, what are they going to get out of this? How are youth going to react? I really think that, like CJ, we're going to see a resurgence of young people that are very much more political, that are out there, they're on the front lines. They may not be able to use their voice in the way they want to, but they will find a way to make it happen. They are going to fight against it. It's going to be amazing.
Our voices may have been silenced in schools, but who's going to silence us now?
Exactly.
Nobody.
It's interesting because they were just talking about the profile, and to bring up a very dark subject, but of the Parkland shooter, about his mental, and the signs that were there. And what we're focusing on is not letting kids say that they're gay in a valedictorian speech. Right. But we're not focusing on the kids that are disaffected, that are outsiders of our society, that have mental health issues. That's being just swept under the rug. And that's really the sad part of this, I think.
That's
especially for people who claim to be concerned about the kids.
Yes.
But
these parents that are
always happens. If it's with Don't Say Gay, we don't want the kids to be talking about being gay. Well, we also have the higher rates of suicidality, depression, and anxiety. But then when you also talk about things like, oh, we don't want to talk about the race issue that's going on, then we have more hate coming out. Anytime there is something that it's, oh, we don't want to talk about it, we're trying to censor you, there's that flip side to it each and every time.
You know, at the end of the day, we're going to go on in a moment to something a little more fun. But at the end of the day, no modern society, political society, has ever been able to hold the voice of the population down. They have been able to enslave voice of population for a period of time. And that period of time could be years, it could be decades. China's still in the process at 80 years of being able to do it. Russia could not do it. The Soviet Union collapses because of it. The empire, fascism in Germany collapses. Mussolini collapses. Even the Roman Empire with Caesar, they eventually collapse because you cannot hold human spirit down forever. All of human history has proven that. It's just a question of how long it is before the people that are being oppressed stand up and say no more. That's the question we don't know.
No empire has lasted so long, and the U.S.'s time might be up soon.
LGBTQ+ news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+ community.